Okay. Check, check. 1, 2. Here we go. It's Thursday night. I make sure everything's working. How's my volume? Can you guys hear me okay? Probably turn it up a little bit. There we go. All right. Okay. Let's get you kids on the stream. Bring up your comments. Let me know that you're seeing me and hearing me okay. We'll get underway. We're streaming live to Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook right now. You guys are going to help me tonight. Gonna help me carry the show. All right, looks good. All right, hello, hello, hello. Mark's in the UK. Awesome. Okay. Hello, guys. How are you? Should probably. Yeah, that's all right. Do that color. So we'll just take a minute to get everybody settled in here. If you're new, welcome to the show, where we discuss pretty much everything. Usually the current events, so what's happening. Tonight, I'm going to talk about something I really try not to talk about. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. So I get people who send me, as we're just waiting. Okay. I usually take the first 5 minutes at least to get everybody on board here. All right. I get people who send me things from time to time, and I just received some coffee. You see this? It's called I haven't opened it yet. So maybe I'm not even plugging it. I'm just saying thank you. I guess I am plugging it now. Boy, it better be good. This is from one of my Facebook followers, and it's Breezeway Coffee in North Carolina. So I'm looking forward to that. I got a little cup, a pretty cool little cup with some goodies in it. It says Dead Tired Breezeway Coffee Roasters. So I'm looking forward to trying that. They have a social media page, Breezeway Coffee. So support local patriots. Yeah, you can order it online. I'll give you my review once I try it. I just got it. So I love people who start their own coffee business. I'm really big into coffee. Love the hat, Bruce. Where'd you get it? I can't tell you that. That's confidential. No, honestly, I just got it. It got it off Amazon, believe it or not. From time to time, I'll look up, you know, type of faith-based spiritual stuff, and I love hats. Um, I collect them, so I have a bunch of them. Yeah. Okay, nice to see you guys. Good. I appreciate you tuning in. So we're getting everybody online here. Let's take a look. Let's see where we're at. But you know what I want to do? Let's bring up right now. Let's bring up while I'm talking. Let's bring up the screen. Let's bring up Fox and see what's going on. Who's on there? Oh, it's Jesse. Looks like. I think. I think I can get it. Okay. Oh, maybe not. I'm not getting it. Okay. Well, for some reason it's not sharing, but at the same time, I'm keeping an eye on things. Look, Donald Trump is supposed to go. I don't see Fox is not covering it. So why I'm live on the air here, I'm just gonna periodically take a peek at who would actually be having videos of it. With Donald Trump supposed to be going out on the streets tonight. I mean, that's a broad statement there to say that. I mean, I don't see him getting suited up in the theme of cops playing and going out there and arresting people. But as we all know, Donald Trump is supposed to go out there tonight and patrol and take a look. It looks like. So, oh, somebody made. Here we go. I just saw this. Let me bring it on your screen. Yeah, as we're talking about it, this is a perfect picture. There you go. Donald Trump's going to be on patrol tonight. That's a that's a good one. Oh boy. All right. So again, I'm going to keep an eye on that. And again, in just in a few minutes, we just take time. If you're new to the show, it's the way I start the show most of the time. Just give people time to get in here, and we just say hello to each other and get underway. I'm checking to due to the unique circumstances. I don't know what President Trump, what else he's supposed to do. Keep an eye out on that. I don't know if his motorcade is going out there or what. I have no details on this whatsoever. This is all fresh and new. So, yeah, I love it too. It's pretty cool. All right. Okay. So I think we're good. Let's check over there on Rumble. You guys okay over there? Looks like it. We have a few folks there. Wonderful. Even though I kind of said I was coming on here, usually I put out a thumbnail and everything else. I didn't do that today. But you know what? We have a lot going on. Let's go back. Go back here for a little bit. And that's a great picture. Okay, so we'll kind of keep your comments up there for now, which is fine. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, so let's get started here. I think we're all settled in. I think we got a few people here. It usually grows, so that will work. All right, again, we're streaming to Rumble, Facebook, and YouTube right now. There is a lot going on the world stage. Great, fantastic. I'm glad you're here too. Glad you're catching alive. That's wonderful. And if you're new here, welcome aboard. Be sure to follow on if you're on Rumble. Be sure to follow. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube if you're over there. That way you get notifications. That's the most important thing. Okay. Yeah, I know President Trump was out during the fight, but I don't know if that's what they were talking about. There's been no details about this. There's just he was going out on patrol with them. I'm looking forward to like while I'm on the air here. I'm on the East Coast as well, so the sun is the sun's setting now. So, um, I mean, we're gonna find out what's about to take place. I have no idea whatsoever. I'm always on top of these things. I'm ahead of the game, so I can bring you guys the best coverage over the years. I've done that, but tonight I have no clue what is happening. So we'll find out. Miles, welcome aboard. I appreciate that you coming on and listening to the podcast. Welcome. And I'm gonna go into that there too. So I'm really not. We're gonna get into in a little while. We're gonna get into more Q&A. So whatever you don't ask now because I'm not gonna get to it. But whatever we're gonna do a little. Sometimes once in a while I'll do a little Q&A. Ask me anything, as in regarding to what's going on. I don't have all the answers. I don't. But I'll do the best to my ability with my research that I've obtained and see what I can do. And I like hearing people in the comments too, especially during a live stream, to hear what others think. And we can do this as a collective, as a group. Okay. I'm again, I'm going to get into this in a second, but I'm big about so big about community in the group. Okay. As you know, you folks over there on Facebook, it's a big deal. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit here. But we have so much going on. So, I mean, from the Russia-Ukraine conflict to things that Trump is posting back and forth. He said the next couple of weeks are going to be interesting. Sounds like we're in a pretty much a 2-week timetable here. So I'm always keeping an eye on that. We've got the DC cleanup. That is amazing. I know for a fact that I'm in Ohio, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio National Guard has been deployed. I've had that confirmed. I've talked to some family members who have National Guard um, family, and they're being deployed to DC this week as well, if not already there. I don't know. So, but it's been no secret; it's been made public. So the other states that are sending, I find it quite interesting that look, if we look at the big picture here, we have talked about the military being the only way, and that over the years uh, could have meant a lot of things. It had double meanings, you know. Um, I just heard the report today. I usually try to get a little dinner and rest before I come on when I do a show. Just prior to this, which I did, and I heard about JAG lawyers um, are going to start um, prosecuting cases. So now we got military. Okay. This is everything we spoke about. So military being the only way being, I know we talked about the big one when it comes to tribunals, but right now we're arresting people on the streets and in DC in particular. This is just a start. This is a starting point. And I just am paying very close attention to all this. I'm not going to blow this up into something that it's not, but you have to ask yourself what is really going on here. I have made the reference that this is bigger than just cleaning up the streets of DC. Sure, that place needed it, no doubt about that. But is it many questions yet? Is it the first city? The first was a sanctuary city, blue city. Are they going to move into New York and California? Look at the boy. I got to watch my language here, as in what words I use. I almost said the word threats. I don't think it's a threat, but the language that Donald Trump is using is um is stern. Put it that way. Um, the one today about California, especially warning that he's going to make sure he cleans up California. So we don't know what all the plans are, but there is a plan unfolding. That plan started to unfold at 12:01 p.m. on January 20th. And as soon as he was sworn in, everything has been put into place. Now we're in the month of August. It's the 21st, so we're just so many months in, just past the 6-month mark, and we still got a little under 3.5 years left to go, and we have got a lot accomplished so far. Okay. There's definitely more, and you can see on your screen there, people. If it bothers you on the screen, let me know. I'll take that down. This platform is particularly new, and I've been experimenting with it and to see if you like it on there. Now, I did a live stream last time. I forgot what we live stream, Trump and something, but I didn't put those on there. It'd been too distracting. But I don't think this is distracting. It's a good way to interact. Plus, people at home who are watching this on their big screens on Rumble, they get to see this, so which is kind of nice. Which will bring me to the point that I'm going to need some moderators here in the very, 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 very near future to watch these comments before I get some crazy cowboy in my comments spamming. And again, whatever's going on there in DC, pay very close attention to it. The what I see, okay, and I'm a very patient man. I've developed these traits, these qualities, if you will, of things like patience, due to things I have gone through in my previous, I say previous life because um, I've overcome quite a few things, and I've learned to I remain teachable, and patience is one of the things I do have. Um, I wouldn't be able to have patience without a spiritual foundation, but I do have patience, and I see what's going on. A lot of these since January 20th, there's been a lot of chess moves, and we've been watching Donald Trump do everything um, to the best of his ability in every area, in every department, in every agency, and they're draining the swamp still. Just look at last night with the announcement from DNI Tulsi Gabbard, and Tulsi Gabbard announced the up to was 40+% of getting rid of people in the intelligence community there, and that's basically what she's saying. They're draining the swamp of deep state. Look, these things need to be done first before we start arresting people like Adam Schiff and John Brennan, James Comey, the players, the central cast of Russia collusion, if you will. These things have to be done first, including what he's done with the economy, the alliances he's making, the stopping of wars. All these things have to be done. I think the Russia Ukraine situation is a very big deal right now. It's a very tense one. And yes, they're still fighting after President Trump just met with both Zelensky and Vladimir Putin. So I'm keeping a close eye on that. I mean, to be honest, folks, I have my thoughts on what could be happening. At the end of the day, all right, we want President Trump, in my opinion, to look like he's been looking as the president of peace. Okay. I mean, I know they talk about the Nobel Peace Prize and all that, which is wonderful. But it's his actions and what he's doing. There's going to be a small percentage still of people who won't wake up. It's going to take a real hard um, boot up their behind, if you will, for them to finally wake up. No matter what, there's going to be this demographic of people, and you know who they are, that are going to be constant Trump haters. They are set aside the ones who are paid to go out there and protest. There, there are people who are just plain miserable. They like to project their misery on others so they feel good about themselves. That's what you see often when it comes to these. When I usually say these lunatic liberals, if you will. All right, but I personally have been seeing a great awakening. I think the numbers in the presidential election tell that story of the amount of votes that Trump got. More people obviously want President Trump in. There's people who won't admit that they're supporting what he's doing. Like right now, this is a very big test because the DC cleanup. There are many people coming out and talking about um, they love what President Trump's doing, and there are people who are not necessarily saying it, but they're loving it because they don't want to face the fact that they were wrong and they are saving embarrassment, or they're saving it not to um, upset the circle that they run in, if you will. I personally have heard from people um, who told me their stories already about this, that they're very happy with President Trump. And these are people who voted for the Walking Dead man, Biden. And this is one of those areas that is, in my opinion, it's the beginning. I talked about this on my previous podcast. You can go back several months. I said, and prior to, I talked about this before President Trump even won the election because I knew he was going to win. I was that confident. I knew he was going to win. Why did I know he was going to win? It was obvious. And secondly, there's a plan in place. So I talked about it too. I said people are going to come around more and more as soon as they start reaping the rewards. And the rewards that they're reaping already are a better, cleaner, no crime community. Well, I don't go with no crime, but less crime, way less crime community. People are actually out there walking the streets and enjoying themselves without looking over their shoulder. And he did this in such a short period of time. It's quite astonishing. And here's the thing: people right now are viewing this, or the people that are upset are viewing this as President Trump is a dictator. He's out to get revenge, vengeance. Um, and they're screaming. And you saw the videos I posted. You've seen the craziness yesterday. Okay. In was it in the mall there in Washington D.C.? I forgot where it took place, but when Vance and Pete Hegseth walked through, the way they were screaming like demons, okay, and dropping f bombs and everything. These people are just truly unhinged. I find it fascinating as well because I think people are going to professionals might want to study the behavior of everything that that's been going on lately. But I've talked about it on my podcast, and I said people are going to reap the benefits. They're going to reap the rewards, and one of those is happening right now. And they're going to reap the rewards financially. Okay, it's going. I understand. Look, I go to the grocery store every week too, just like you. And I was just there this week already, and I look at those prices. Okay, and the reason I look at those prices is because for many reasons, but I look at those prices because I want to know the state of the nation, put it that way. I know these things are going to come down. There's going to be a balance there. But there are some people who thought, boy, this happens overnight. It doesn't work that way. You're going to see 4 years of amazement, all right? But it's not going to take 4 years for you to finally say gas is cheap and groceries are down. No, I know we're not there yet. And I know the comments that people put out there when President Trump puts out a post about the golden age and prices and everything. We're just not feeling it yet. I understand you, but it's coming. There's so many things happening at one time, including the taunting to Jerome Powell to step down and resign. And now we have all these mortgage fraud. Everything is connected. These mortgage fraud cases now with Adam Schiff, Big Tish, and now what was there other one there with Jerome Powell? Lisa Cook. Is it Cook? Is that what it is? And this is going on. So follow on X, follow what's his name? Polte, the federal housing director. Follow his account. He's really doing a good job there. I watch his account and I watch FCC chair Brendan Carr as well, because I like keeping an eye on Brendan Carr and watching what's going on with the mainstream media. I think that's coming soon too. It's already kind of happened with the merger. What was it? Skydance, I think it was, with Paramount and CBS. That was the first big one. We're going to see more of those things happening. When Trump goes on there and like he did today and talked about in all capital letters MSNBC and they're failing and everything else, I know President Trump puts out some very entertaining posts, to say the least. But a lot of times, most of the time, he's communicating with us. He's kind of giving us a preview of what is to come. I don't think anybody can deny the fact that so much is happening right now. Now, granted, we've gone through years of misery, especially 4 years under Biden. All right. No, we all couldn't wait until President Trump walked in the door. And unfortunately, there are some people who just don't understand the ability of patience. It's not just the ability, patience, not the ability to wait, it's the ability to wait with a good attitude. And I know, and there are people probably screaming at me right now, but you don't understand. We're hurting them just trying to get by, deciding what to do, whether to get groceries, put gas in the car. Look, I am completely sympathetic with that. I understand completely. Everybody's living on a fixed budget income, I'm sure, but we're almost there. If you really are paying attention, we're almost there. Hang in there. Okay. We've come this far. We're going to go the rest of the way. I don't think President Trump, look, he coined the phrase, the best is yet to come, a while ago, years ago. And he wasn't lying. They knew this moment was coming. This presidency was coming. And when this presidency came, they knew. I've said it for a long time now. I said the first term, in his first term, that was exposing the swamp. This term is draining the swamp. And by draining the swamp, not only are you going to get your firing, look at everything. Look at the people who've been fired. Look at the agencies that have been taken down. Look at or revamped. Look at everything that has happened so far. It is a draining of the swamp in real time and fast. This is fast. And it's only August. Okay. So we're only like 7 months in. So it's going extremely fast. President Trump, in my opinion, he knows he's up against the clock. Okay. I don't think there's anything to fear whatsoever. Look, I don't think we need to fear the midterms. I don't think we need to fear 2028. Okay. We're going to go into the presidency again. Now, I'm not going to go down that road of Trump 2028. I think he's trolling everybody with that Trump 2028 stuff. That's just my opinion. Again, it could be JD Vance. I don't know. Okay. But I think a plan is already in place for who that person will be. So again, I don't think President Trump is going to come in here. And when I say President Trump, I don't want to give him all the credit, even though he deserves most of it. But you got to remember, there are people behind the scenes, probably people we've never even spoken of, probably people we don't even know by name or face. Because these folks have been, whatever you want to call it, White Hat operation, a plan that was put in place just prior to 2016, and everything we had to go through. I'm still convinced, until this day, I'm convinced that President Trump's first term was meant to expose the swamp, and he was supposed to lose the second term. They're talking about already. You're talking. Ed Martin is already talking about the interview yesterday. He's already looking into the 2016 and 2020 election. I talked about it too. I came on here for years on this very show, and I told everybody, stop with the Brunson stuff, stop with the Supreme Court stuff, stop what you're wasting your energy. Nothing is getting overturned in the Biden presidency. And I was correct. And I'm not saying that to be egotistical or the big shot. Okay. I just saw the writing on the wall. It only made sense because we had to go through 4 years of hell with Biden. Those 4 years was more exposure. They knew exactly what they were going to do. And that's why Trump won so big this time. They knew. I'm convinced that they allowed them to steal it on purpose. I think it will. I don't think it's going to be an asterisk in this history books. I think it's going to be rectified. I told you that a year ago, 2 years ago. I told you 2020 will be rectified once Trump comes back in. The Supreme Court will not overturn it during this Biden presidency, which now is over. Thank the Lord. And so here we are. It makes sense to me now, especially now that it's played out. And here we are. And now you have full-blown panic right now on the world stage. Just pay attention to all the players. The more these people go on and post things like crazy James Comey in his bizarre rant about Taylor Swift, that was really bizarre. A lot of people said, is he communicating? I remember someone asked General Flynn that, and he said, no, he's just nuts. Okay. Flynn knows him the best. And just pay attention to their language. Pay attention who's not posting as much anymore. Okay. Pay attention. Like when the John Brennan stuff and the James Comey stuff hit, when that first hit weeks ago, Brennan immediately ran to MSNBC and he needed to get on the air. They have this very evil way, and well planned out to go on television and not only deny it, but deny it with a smirk and dismiss the allegations as in we're as nuts and crazy as Comey talking about Taylor Swift. They do that on purpose, but behind that thinking and that person, like Brennan going on MSNBC, he's in full blown panic. I guarantee you. And now you've got Adam Schiff starting a legal fund. Um, James Clapper already said he's had his lawyers for years waiting to be arrested, waiting to be indicted. So this is going to come, and I posted this. Was it this week? I think it was this week. Yeah, it was this week. Yeah, I posted the first arrest will, the first unsealed indictment, first arrest. It's kind of all one. Will cause a mass pop awakening. Their drops 37. I think it's 37-16, 37-17. They're back to back, and they're identical word for word. And I think the relevance of that is to let us know that it's going to be a snowball effect. Okay. I posted on that particular post that I just don't want to see, like, for example, throw a name out there, Adam Schiff be arrested, and like tomorrow morning, breaking news, Adam Schiff indicted. We even get to see his perp walk. And that goes on for months and nothing else happens. I don't want that. Okay. I want the snowball effect. I want what that drop is telling me, one after the other. Okay. It will tell us by the first arrest will give us that acknowledgement of what direction this is going. So that first person, whoever is arrested, will be a big deal. You have Kash Patel. I'll bring it on your screen here. So hold on a second here. Let's take a look at this. I want to show you something. So let me grab X. I should probably look. Wow, I want to bring up Kash Patel's account. Let's take a look. Okay. All right. Let me get it on your screen. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's go to Cash's account. Okay, so look at the one from 2 hours ago. All right. Right there on your screen. Newly declassified memos reveal former FBI leadership authorized classified leaks while misleading Congress. Thanks to President Trump's push for transparency, the cover-up is finally being exposed. Accountability must follow. It's that last sentence there, okay? Accountability must follow. I bet if I haven't even looked at the comments, okay? I'm not even going to bother. But my point is that he's saying the same thing, and Pam Bondi is saying the same thing. They're saying phrases like that. People must be held accountable. Well, it's their job, literally their job. It's the FBI's job and the DOJ's job to give it to the grand jury, et cetera. And that's already underway. Okay. I said recently that this transparency is part of everything. It's in the Q drops. They told us about the transparency. Now I'm really understanding it. Okay. I'm really understanding it. Put that back there. So I'm really understanding it. I know many of you want, quit telling us, quit putting out the classified stuff. Stop it. Just arrest these SOBs. Hey, look, I get it. I can't wait either. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting to be on the air when that happens. I'm prepared for that time. Okay. But at the same time, this is a way to show everybody. Okay. This is to show the people that are kind of like dipping their toe in the water, looking at like, okay, I'm secretly in love with the fact that Donald Trump is cleaning up DC, even though I voted for Biden. I'm seeing these things on the news now. I'm going to start having an open mind. I'm not going to let that be known publicly because I'm a Trump hater, but that's what's going on right now. And it's the transparency, putting it out there, and putting it out there. This is a part of the plan. Okay. Again, I really believe that this stuff is going to lead up to once that first indictment is unsealed. Once that first indictment happens, okay, that's when it becomes very real. And then that's when you will get full-blown panic on steroids. And again, don't condone it whatsoever because I take this subject matter seriously when it comes to suicide. There will be people who take the easy way out because they will not want to, because they're cowards. They will not want to spend the rest of their life in a federal prison or Gitmo or anything like that. Okay. So that's where we're at right now. If we want to save the taxpayer dollars, well, so be it. But a lot is happening. And again, like I said, just before I came on the air tonight, I heard about them talking about military, JAG, the lawyers. They're putting it into the public conscious right now. They're making this acceptable. Okay. By putting all this transparency out there, it won't shock everybody that tomorrow morning, breaking news, Hillary Clinton was arrested and all these people. It won't be that shocking because they are preparing everybody for this. They're telling them it is coming. Okay. I mean, I can't imagine if I was in their position knowing I got a heads up and a nice head start. Just right now, I tell you right now, there's no way I'm counting on the power of the deep state anymore. I'm packing my bags. Okay. I'm headed out to whatever I have planned out to hide. I don't think they're going to be, I don't know if they'll be able to run away to some non-extradition country. I have no clue at this point. But with Trump making alliance, here's the beautiful thing. Okay. Let me bring myself back on screen here. Here's the beautiful thing. And I've thought about this. I haven't said this, but the beautiful thing about Trump making all these deals, all these economic deals all over the world. And it's amazing. We don't know all the details of these deals. Okay. We see the big picture of how many billions so-and-so is going to invest over these next few years, etc. But we don't know all the details, all the red tape, fine print stuff that's going on behind closed doors. And we probably never will. But just imagine if some of these people do try to take off to a non-extradition country. And Trump says, look, you could play ball or we're not going forward in the deal we made. And right now, everybody wants to deal. Everybody around the world wants to deal with President Trump. That's just the way it is. So there is a possibility these people have nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide, like the famous song. So it is quite interesting to watch all this unfold, even though many people's patience have run out and we're dying for this to occur. But allow it to unfold, allow it to happen. Okay. Look at the big picture. When you view the daily news of what the breaking news is, follow me here. The breaking news you see me put up, the breaking news you see on Fox News, you're watching on your TV screen, the post that Donald Trump puts up, the trade deals that he has made. Okay. Whatever Kash Patel posts, whatever Pam Bondi post, watch the language, look at everything that is occurring. President Trump on the streets of DC apparently tonight or whatever's going on. All these things in a day. Look at it like a chessboard. Take a step back, look at it from above, and look down like you're looking at a chessboard. These are strategic pieces being put in place. Okay. It's easy just to run down there and, well, there is a story about a bull running down, and I don't want to get into that right now. It's probably not appropriate, but that's what's going on. Okay. Everything is connected. Everything is connected. It's one big chess game right now. You will be so happy once these things occur. As a matter of fact, not only will you be happy, I know everybody will be happy with the day once the news breaks and so is arrested and all these other people. But at the same time, some folks are missing the big picture. It's already happening, just not in the dramatic way that you visualized it once. Okay. A lot has happened already. So take a look at, an aerial view of everything. A lot is going on. Right, right. Exactly there in the comments. I call it the 40-foot, 1,000-foot view. Correct. And Q talks about that as well. Okay. Apparently there was on Tucker Carlson yesterday, and I don't post Tucker anymore because I'm pissed off at him. But he had a guest on, and there's a brief segment on there, and I did play it. And he talked about QAnon, if you will. But they did acknowledge that it wasn't some the Q boards they're not some college kids on 4chan just did this. There's no way. They truly believe that these could be ex-military, etc. Because that board is pretty highly sophisticated and intelligent, if you ask me, with a lot of information. And you also got to question the mathematical impossibilities. And Trump uses it every day. He communicates with it and by hitting the timestamps or whatever he posts. And there's many times we can match it. So he's using it. Okay. People can say whatever they want to say. Okay. Again, the mainstream media, the deep state spent millions and millions of dollars to go after Q in Donald Trump's first term and to label it crazy because they wanted folks not buying into that because they didn't know what it was. And they knew it. And for them to go that hard and spend that kind of much money on all their networks, HBO, MSNBC, CNN, Newsweek loves putting QAnon hit pieces out. If they're doing that, that's a panic mode. Okay. They want to discourage you to tell you that you're crazy. Just like if you're old enough that during the time of when Kennedy got shot, they want to discourage you because you started asking questions. So now you are a conspiracy theorist. Makes sense. All right. Let me take a quick check before I go any further here. People are posting pictures. I'll bring this one up. I'm just seeing this now with you guys. This is funny. Let's put this up there. There he is. Oh, that's good. I love it. I'm just checking right now in real time because I don't know if Trump's going out there or what still tonight because he said he was going out there tonight. I'll keep an eye on that. Again, just give me a moment. I just want to make sure because if it's going to start happening, I want to bring it to you while I'm live on the air. I don't see any videos yet. So, and I'm looking out my window and it's now dark. So, and because I'm on the East Coast as well, but looks good in that uniform. You like that, ladies? Officer Trump reporting for duty. All right, we have fun. That's good stuff there. Okay, so again, there's so much that is happening right now, and I really just want to encourage people to look at that 40,000-foot view, if you will. Okay. And I know I have personally just mine. I know there are regular people who are wonderful followers of mine. Okay. But I see the discouragement in your comments over the months, over the years, even. I just want to encourage you to hold on just a little bit longer because God's hand's really at work in this, which I think it is. Okay. The payoff will be great. The reward will be great. And at the end of the day, be one of those people that said, you know what? I never gave up during that time. And the history is going to talk about this. Can you imagine when we're all dead and gone, the history books and how they're going to talk about this? I hope it's the right way. That's one big area that I want right. That's why they're fixing everything right now. Make the history books right. Teach our children the right information. But to say that, you know what? You toughed it out. You stayed in there. You got censorship. It's a good transition right now. You got censorship censored on Facebook. You were deplatformed. You were thrown in jail. You lost your account. Um, Nobody was more pissed off than me when it comes to Facebook. All right. Um, I've gone, I almost went through a couple monitors, basically punching them in the morning when I'd wake up and my Facebook page was gone. Um, and you're going to be able to tell yourself, I hung in there. It was tough. I stayed in the battle. I got battle fatigue along the way. We all got battle fatigue. We get battle fatigue. This is a tough war we're in. We're in a digital war too, and it's affecting our lives. I get it. But you hung in there and you didn't give up. Trust. Not only don't saying trust the plan is one thing, because that trust the plan thing is man, but trust God right now. I really believe he's involved in this. I truly do. I know man has free will. We're all doing this. There's white hats, trust the plan. But at the same time, there is a spiritual, I have a spiritual sense about this right now. My discernment tells me that God's at work in all of this. And as a collective, we need to be on the same wavelength, and we need to trust, and we need to stay in this fight. And at the end of the day, at night, shortly after this podcast, when we all go to bed, just say, God, I trust you. Whatever's going on, I don't know, but just pray for our leaders. Pray for President Trump. Pray for the people who are in charge right now, people we voted for. Allow them to do their job, and may they be protected. May the hand of God be upon them, because that's what we're going through right now. And I'm going to tell you, just me personally, I think it's freaking amazing. I think what we're experiencing right now is amazing. No, our my grandkids will never experience anything like this. This is a phenomenon, what we're going through. If you view this right now as hardship, I feel bad for you. Okay. Yes, it's difficult, but greatness is not going to be achieved without hardship, without walking through the darkness. Okay. So here we are. We've come this far. We've come so far right now. And I think it's unfair for the people, okay, who especially have bigger voices, way bigger than mine, platforms out there, who have been accusing Bondi and Patel and even Trump and discouraging people. How dare you bomb Iran? Oh, you're not arresting anybody. Oh, the Epstein thing, and they're throwing down. I think it's disgusting. I think they're weak, and I'm sorry if you were one of them. I'm not trying to be mean here. Just get back on the train. Just say, hey, you know what? I was wrong. Dust yourself off. We're all wrong at one point in time. But I think it was wrong. I think it was disgusting. I think it was cowardly. And I think a lot of those people lacked spiritual discernment, spiritual guidance, because they didn't have the patience. They allowed their emotions to rule them. So all they did is react. And when you allow your emotions to rule you and you just react, it's always bad results. But if you're spiritually, you've had years to get spiritually grounded and ready for all this and prepare yourself. You post it online all the time, dark to light, good versus evil. How many times? Well, be an example. Live that way. Be that light in the darkness for somebody else. Stand up. Declare who your God is. Declare that all this is going to happen. And tell all those people who've called you crazy, a conspiracy theorist, and all those other mean, terrible names, tell them to quietly to F off. You stand firm. Stand grounded. Don't have any cracks in your spiritual foundation. If you got some cracks in your spiritual foundation, go right now, start every day, and start filling in those cracks. Have your foundation firm, because we are close to that time right now. I mean this. I know this is going to happen, and I want people to flood my messenger when it does happen, because I want to hear every single story. Because we're already experiencing it right now in DC, where people are secretly, who are embarrassed to admit that Trump is right, are secretly saying they support what Trump is doing in DC right now. And the same thing is going to happen when that wave of arrests and everything else happens that we're waiting on. All right. They're going to turn to you. They may not admit it on their social media page, but they're going to quietly and secretly turn to you for questions because they're going to remember that Bill, Joe, and Lisa, they were all right. Okay, I'm just throwing names out there. I'm not saying anybody in particular. And they knew, you know what? I thought they were crazy. Here they are. They're right. I'm going to message them. And here's your message. Look, I see what's going on. I'm sorry I called you blah, blah, blah. What can you tell me? And that is the important part right now is that we can't sit here and flex our muscle and say, I told you so. I know a lot of people are going to do it. I get it. But we need to be here for those people. We have to be here if we want to complete the process of unifying this country. And there's nothing more I want right now than unifying this nation because I can't handle this division. It's grotesque. It's unhealthy. Very much so. Okay. Again, let me check real quick. We're going to go to your comments in a second, even though they're on your screen. I'm in my head talking to you and I'm not really reading the comments. Let me just take a look on the wire and see if there's anything. Okay, I don't see anything. We'll keep an eye on it. I'm just seeing Jesse Waters clips. I don't see anything of major significance popping. Okay, they're covering the stories that took place earlier today. All right, so we're going to get to your questions momentarily. I want to touch on something here. So first of all, I want to, again, I want to personally thank everybody who does follow me. I want to thank everybody who has supported me over the years. And when I say supported me, I don't mean just financially in donations or something. I mean, just when I say support, that means in so many areas of encouraging me, when I was attacked so many times. Again, this is my 92nd Facebook page. I've been on here for 5 months now. That's the longest I've been on Facebook in a number of years in a consistent manner. Okay. I posted today I gave you an inside look at some analytics. I knew this time would come. Behind the scenes here, when I talk to, I have somebody close to me that is been with me when it comes to the business aspect of things. We knew for years that we'd have to put things on the back burner, and I would have to trudge the road every day and just continue to put out posts, fighting the censorship on Facebook and everything like that. We knew, we predicted, and it was part of a business plan, if you will. Okay. I said to this person, I said, look, we're going to have to wait till at least 6 months, 6 to 9 months into Trump's first year before we even make a move. And when I'm talking about making a move, I'm talking about what I do for a living and what business plan that I have in place for MindFix TV, which is MindFix Entertainment, my company. I knew it was going to take a while to get to this point, and here we are right now. Okay. I posted those analytics today on purpose to give you an inside look because I see that I'm on target. I see where this is going and I see it growing. Okay. I can tell you a couple notes here I put down here. Okay. I'm not going to sit here on this podcast and overpromise things. Okay. That would be not wise. But I can tell you this. Okay. I have teased a few things and spoke about a few things that I would like to do. Now, when I say that, I'm pretty much, for the most part, I'm a one-man show. Okay. I wear many, many hats here. Just because you see those posts throughout the day in real time on my social media accounts, there's a lot more going on with what I do. Okay. So I wear many hats besides researching, preparing for podcasts, trying to get the interviews set up. editing. I have a monthly budget I have to meet every month. That's one reason I ask for donations, just like RSBN does. I have to do all the business stuff, the stuff that basically sucks. Okay. Um, and I've been doing that for a long time, and I knew that. I knew I'd have to pay my dues to get to this point. I've been in production uh, for a long, long time. 10 years old, I got my first um, video camera in my hand over my shoulder, and ever since then, I've been in it. Uh, and I've gone to school for it. Graduated top of my class in television broadcast production school. I pretty much worked in this field ever since, in many areas. And I just one thing I had to do was accept the hardest thing. The hardest thing for me to accept is what I'm doing right now. I never thought people would really want to listen to what I had to say, let alone see my face on a screen like right now. I've always been uncomfortable with that. I prefer to work behind the scenes. I would rather make sure the news gets out in a very professional way, in a very also um, in a way that is captivating. It captures you, and I say that carefully because I'm not a clickbait guy. I don't like sensationalizing things because everybody is sick of that. You guys are too smart for that kind of stuff, and that's why I am stern with my own rules that I will never put out propaganda. I will never put out clickbait. I will never put out that bullshit that sorry for my language, but it just is what it is. I will never put that out. Like I saw the rumors, people messaging me, Cash Patel is going to get fired coming week. This is all BS. Okay, that's clickbait stuff. Right? There's no reward into that. And what I mean by that is I want long term. Okay, I want to deliver quality and professional content. And that's where I'm at right now. All right. So I'm going to fill you in here, and then we're going to go do a little Q&A with you as well momentarily. All right. So where I'm at, it's 9 o'clock. So I've been on the air for an hour. And again, I'll keep an eye on the wire here and make sure I don't miss anything. If I do, you guys can tell me in the comments. So again, I don't want to over deliver, but I could tell you one thing that I've been I'm very excited about and working on is that I've been working on the branding for MindFix TV. Again, MindFix Entertainment is the legal company that is registered. MindFix TV is like the name I use online. It's a short version, and I like it. But I don't want MindFix TV to be just news. I've been working on the branding, brand new branding, logos, everything, lower thirds, the whole nine. That's about to be unleashed. Okay. I could tell you this: in September, you're going to see things that are going to stick out to you. All right. Here's the crazy part now, right? One, as far as growing the business and doing what I already have in plan, I'll give you a couple areas before I get into what's going to happen on Facebook. Because I could do it tonight, but I'm not doing it tonight. I want to continue to deliver content. I don't want to be one of those people who have to have a merchandise store to sell you MAGA shirts, MAGA cups, MAGA hats. That's something I really never wanted to do. I dipped my toe in it a little bit, but it's not for me. For me, I want to deliver content to you, quality content. That's what it's all about. So I also said I want MindFix TV to become, and I think it has, and it's going to become more than news. Okay. Because I fall under the saying of news and entertainment. There are things I talked about another podcast, which will happen. Okay. About our struggles and overcoming things. And it's been something I looked at for a number of years now, ever since the I Am Second series on YouTube, which I think is phenomenal. Okay. And I said, I want to do something like that. It's got to be different, but along those lines. So that's a show that I want to do. And then also the big thing is that we're going to branch off into film and documentary, even. Okay. Um, and even some some literary type of material as well. Okay. One thing that we're working on right now is I'm working on getting other people, okay, around the country as we speak. Um, and when I say getting other people, I mean actually on an independent contractor payroll. I want to be able to have people in place. So if there's something going on in California or something going on in New York, I could have somebody there, at least a couple sources in all these states, that we can go to. Like if I'm live on the air right now, I can go to, we can go to Phil in California. We're working on that as we speak. This is where we're branching out at. And this is what my vision has been for a very long time. Okay. The biggest thing for me and the number one thing for me is independent film, uh, putting out independent film. So, uh, again, we're looking forward to that. It looks like that I will be moving back into a studio um, come the beginning of 2026. We were talking. I had meetings about that today, and I have another meeting on that on Monday afternoon. So we're looking at moving at right near Cleveland International Airport, which is Hopkins Airport, I believe. I think it's still that name. And the reason we want that to have our studio there is because I want to start doing in studio interviews, not just online interviews to where somebody comes in on their webcam, etc. I want to do in studio interviews as well. So if people ever come into town, we're right by the airport. Most people that come into Northeast Ohio fly into Cleveland International, and that way we'll be right there. So if there's a politician or whoever that may be, whoever we want to get on the air, we can work it that way. I have a couple folks who already help me in that area. Right now, like Renee is somebody that's helping me. When I can tell you now, I can't confirm it, but we're trying to get. We already have our request in to get like Vivek Ramaswamy on the show here soon. Um, so all these things are in play. All right. I think it's very important. I always talk about supporting independent news. The reason I talk about that, it's not about Bruce trying to make money and get rich. That is far from it. As a matter of fact, the only thing Bruce wants to do, he wants to grow his own media empire. Um, but it is something that is going to be good. It's already good. It's the opposite of the mainstream media when it comes to the mainstream media propaganda news. And I'm trying to incorporate something like Angel Studios does. I've watched Angel Studios. Now, Angel Studios, if you know who they are, they've done um, Sound of Freedom and all those other films. Okay. I've been following those guys for a while now, and I've been watching their format and how they've done it. And this is something that I want for Mindfix Entertainment. So that's the direction that I'm going in. And I just want to tell you that because you guys have been a part of this for years. I've touted about it. I've talked about it. I teased about it, and not tease in a way, but I said, this is just where we're going. And I knew I had to get through 4 years of terrible economic um, situations under the Biden administration, all the BS that they did, and all the BS that the damage and destruction that they cause in this country. And this is why President Trump is trying to fix everything right now. And it's not just about me, it's everybody's livelihood, whether you're, especially people who are small business owners as well. We want more opportunity. Um, but I've always wanted to be a part of the solution and not part of the problem, because there was a journey in my life where I was always a part of the problem, and that's not going to happen anymore. And um, like again, there was a film that I was working on handful of years ago, and then once COVID hit and all this craziness, life took a turn. But that's going to come back, and I'm very excited about that. I'm very, very excited about that. It just didn't get done in the time slot I wanted, but it will happen. And so that journey is upon us. So I guess what I'm saying with all of this is give me the benefit of the doubt. And the one thing I can promise without over promising is to deliver you quality content that you will be proud to subscribe to, rent a movie, whatever it is. Um, I give you my word on that. Just like the Facebook page, I showed you the analytics of it growing, and I realized that as it grows, it could get out of control. And then what's going to disappear is that very intimate Facebook community if it gets too big. And it's something I've talked about. I've talked about with Wanda. I've talked about with some other people. And I said, we have to put a plan in place, no matter how big this thing grows, that this community stays as intimate as it started, or whatever that means. Okay. And that we've got to really police it, because I have looked at all kinds of other pages. You can go on anybody else's page. All right. And you will get into a comment section where maybe it's a great post, it's a conservative post, whatever it is, and you're going to be attacked in there and laughed at, and comments are going to go crazy. And that's what we're trying to control when it comes to that particular Facebook community page. Okay, my page. One, I owe it to you, because you supported me with your not just monetarily, but with your words, with your messages, with uplifting me every time I was taken down. 92 times, 92nd account I'm on. Okay. I have some of you, not many, just a few, have my personal information and my direct contact number. You would just get in touch with me, and when I went down on Facebook, and just encourage me not to give up. And this is all after my wife passed away. My wife died in December of 2021. It's almost 4 years now, and it's been a struggle, but I miss that encouragement. I miss that support. And it's been difficult, and it's a day-to-day thing, but it's because of your encouragement, uplifting me, and saying things like, when you say things online like you're the best and all that stuff, I appreciate that. But at the same time, I don't let that go to my head. I don't have room in my life or allow anything to enter this ego. And because I know the direction I'm going in, and if I had to sum everything up that I just told you, okay, I am 100%, not 99%, 100% convinced this is what God wants me to do. 100%. Okay. Um, Maybe these roadblocks and these speed bumps and these trials along the way were to, and this is the way I look at it, were to prepare me for what is about to happen, and what I want to do. And I truly believe that. So that's where I'm at. And I just want to thank everybody for their years of encouragement, your support, and wanting to hear what I have to say. Um, I will never, ever be able to tell you how grateful I am, but I'd like to show you with the content that I'm preparing to put out in the time to come. Okay. So thank you very, very much. Sincerely. I mean that. It's so special to me, that community over there on Facebook. Um, it just means a lot. And again, thank you. Okay, so as we go forward, and then the one thing is, I will tell you this. Um, there will be, it looks like I have some opportunity to, people mentioned it. It looks like, and I'll give you the 411 down the road. I've been pre-approved, whatever that means. I can start monetizing on Facebook. I also been approved to put a subscription button in. Many people have asked me for a long time to add a subscription. They like to do that because there are people who may donate to me, whether it's 20, 25, 50, $100. That's great. But some people, they always write me, say, I can't afford it, but if I can give you a couple bucks a month or something, they do that. And I always try and talk people out of that, because I don't ever want that. If you're dipping into something you can't do, there's been many times to many of you, I said, no, don't send me anything. You got more important things. But it looks like I'll have the opportunity to have a subscription button on Facebook. Well, it's already says I'm approved. But how I want to format it, I will let you know. Okay. But I think I tell you these things, and I think I'm being this transparent because it's so important to me. One thing that is understood out here in this land of digital battle, if you will, is that something went wrong with these are hateful people now. Something went wrong when they would label people like myself that they say they're a patriot, as in PAY, pay money. Okay. There are platforms out there who do an incredible job at what they do. Okay. And it takes a team. Bruce can't do this no more. Okay. I'm not talking in the third person. I'm just making an example. I'm not trying to talk in third person, but I need a team and I have people in place. I'd like to pay them because I'm going to get to where I want to go. I'm going to have to run this like a business, but I give you my word. I'm not going to feed you and post stuff for crap and garbage. I don't want that. I want the integrity. So that's never going to happen. All right. Um, Again, so you're going to see some things where you're going to have an opportunity to support my work continually. There will always be um, the donations, just like RSBN. When you watch RSBN and they're covering Trump at every single event, every time, many times through that broadcast, they're asking how you support and where to donate. That's how that machine runs. Okay. Same thing. Because I love RSBN, the type of network, how they're doing it. And there's many others as well that I respect highly, and they're doing it the right way. And they're putting everything back into it. And the reason they're doing that, we're up against NBC, MSNBC. We're up against the machine. And I think over the years, the people who I look up to that, I do what I do, but they do it much better. I really respect that. And it's taken a lot of work. I know the work it's taken behind the scenes, but I want to, again, at the end of the day, I want to deliver good content your way, content that makes a difference. Okay. And that makes an impact. So that's where I'm at with that. Again, thank you so, so much. Again, I'm looking at here, and now what we're going to do as we end the final part of the show, let's go to your comments now. So you're on the screen. Let's do it. Ask away, fire away, whatever it is you want to talk about. All right. I'll try to answer. If I can't answer, we'll answer as a group. Joshua tells me to start an OnlyFans page and charge the normies for your truth pilling. Oh boy, I'll tell you what, brother. There is some smut content out there, and here's the thing: you could probably, because you're a man, we don't go looking for it. The Facebook feed is just, it's mind blowing. It's not like it used to be back in 2006, 2007. All right. It was community. It was social media, and I don't think it's social media anymore. I think it's media. That's what this has become. This is why when I say it's no longer social media, this is why I strive for the goal to keep my particular page, that Facebook community that I'm so blessed to have, to keep it social media. This is so important to me because it's just we can go on and on about your Facebook feed. Even ladies, I'm sure it's unbelievable. I'm sure your Facebook feed is just off the chart. It's loaded with ads, it's loaded with smut. The messages you probably get. It's the same for us men. It is bad. What I see and I don't even surf Facebook. I only use it to post, but once in a while, I'll just take a quick look because when I open up the page, I'm on the main feed. And then boom, it's right there, It's something. It's really something. Yeah, it's yeah, reels all day. You don't have to look for it. Are the girls reels, all guys? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There's reels that are I don't know, but at least for us men, because we check men, we're male. It is just loaded with women and being almost naked, and that's the whole feed. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I don't like it. And that's why I want a place for you to come to knowing you're not going to have to deal with anything like that. Uh, right. Charlene says, I can't believe the photos that pop up at the top of my Facebook. Disgusting. Right. Exactly. Yeah, it's bad. All right. So, again, if you have any questions right now, whatever it's about, feel free to ask. I'm going to look at the wire again real quick. And, again, I don't know. Is he going out there tonight? I mean, that's all I saw. What you saw, the report from Fox. Let me check his True Social page. Let's see what we got here. He posted 35 minutes ago with put this on your screen. Let's see. Okay. All right, so there's Trump's True Social. Yeah, he's just posted from right around, I don't know, was it 5 o'clock, 6o'clock. He was meeting with all the Leos and looked like National Guard too, and all the clips from that. But again, I'm kind of waiting for him to be out there in the motorcade tonight, taking a little surveillance, if you will. Now, he's not gonna trust me. He's not gonna go out there and start exposing himself like being on the ground like Nick Shirley. The video of Nick Shirley, the young independent reporter I posted this morning, who did a fantastic job. That kid's something else. And he's got resources. There's no question, because he travels all over the world. Not just here. He goes all over, and he's getting in places that would be very difficult to get in to the average reporter. Yeah, I don't see anything. What's going on there? All right. Take that off of there. All right. Okay. Let me look at your comments here real quick. Oh, wow. So if you're new here, okay, and you're seeing that on your screen, you're probably wondering why is by the way, Danielle's a beautiful name. That's my late wife's name. Do you have any advice on my sober journey, Bruce? I've been 31 days sober from alcohol. First of all, let me say to you that 31 days is a monumental feat when it comes to recovery and sobriety. So first of all, congratulations. You should be damn proud of yourself right there. Just about everybody who's probably watching right now knows somebody that's been affected by drugs or alcohol. That's just the way it is these days. If you're new here and you're wondering why she's asking me, is because I'm a very transparent person. I've talked about my life of drugs and alcohol and overcoming those addictions. And that's when I talk about the darkness I went through. I went through years of terrible things, decisions, drugs and alcohol, and in trouble with the law. But with the grace of God and a little bit of willingness and some footwork, I've overcome quite a bit, and I've been granted an awful lot of wisdom. Wisdom that I never knew I'd be able to obtain. And I am here now. And when I say that, and again, this is part of what I just talked about for MindFix TV, the things that I want to put out there. This guy here, right here on your screen, has some wisdom because of God's grace. And I've learned quite a few things that schools can't teach. And I want to be able to put that out into the world, because I feel it is my responsibility to do so. And that's what the world needs, because entertainment today, when it comes to music and film, the quality is far and few in between. Music is terrible. Most films are terrible. It's like finding a good film and good music like a needle in a haystack. And I want to be a part of putting out good content. But Danielle, this is amazing. Congratulations, dear. You keep doing that. And here's my advice to you. Okay. And it may sound cliche. All right. One day at a time. Trust God and clean house daily. And what I mean by clean house daily is take your daily inventory. Make sure you didn't wrong anybody. And if you did, immediately make it right. Don't carry around any baggage because us recovering alcoholics and addicts can't afford that. Don't harbor any resentment. All right. And this is exactly why throughout my show, I talked about I have patience. Okay. I have discernment. I talk about a spiritual foundation. It's a direct result of where Danielle is at right now. I was there. I've been in her shoes. It's been my journey to grow. And let me tell you something. These seasons, this is a season for you. You're in a season right now. Okay. I'll tell you what. And I didn't know it then. I didn't know it then. But the season you're in right now was probably the best time of my life, even though it still looked dark and bleak. You're allowing God to mold you right now. If you're willing to trust and you're willing to not pick up a drink just for today. God bless you. Let's go to some more of your comments. There you go. So I know I'm behind. You're seeing them on your screen. Congratulations. That's wonderful. Just keep up the good work. Hey guys, how are you? Good stuff. You're very welcome, Danielle. And you guys are a blessing as well. Look, at the end of the day, if I could do it, believe me, anybody can do it. Okay. I'm a guy who came from burning every bridge, nobody taking my phone calls anymore. I screwed everything up because I wanted that fix first. Nothing was more important to me than getting that fix, that drink or that drug. But once God took away the obsession, He took away the obsession for me to drink or drug. Okay, that's when I knew I was on a path of something more than just not drinking and drugging. There's a lot more God has planned for you than just not drinking and drugging. Okay. And I'll say it again. Drugs and alcohol were only a symptom of the disease. We all have a thinking problem. And once you identify that you have a thinking problem and you go on a journey to correct your thinking and learn to live life to think properly, you're going to be unstoppable. Carol says, my son just hit 34 days praying he stays on track. These are wonderful comments. When I hear comments like that, all my mind does is go back to when I was there. These are wonderful comments. Gosh, I mean, if only people who are in that position would understand the grace that they're in by God, the that moment that God is preparing for them. And probably a big thing, watch who you run with. Get rid of the people that are no good in your life. And I know some people are stuck with some people because of relationships. You're going to have to make some hard decisions, because God's going to close some doors, but He's going to open up more and bigger ones for you if you're willing to allow the doors He closes to stay shut. Nancy says Phil Robinson's movie was great about his alcohol abuse. I haven't seen it, but I know what movie you're talking about. I've got to watch that yet. But I know what you're talking about. I think I have a subscription to PureFlix, and I think it was on there. But yeah, again, I am inspired by people who have overcome these things because I know how dark it can get and I know how bad it can get. And and if you survive it, it's really a miracle. And then I love seeing the journey that people go on and what they do with their lives after that. Some of these people that I know have gone on to do the most amazing things, me being one of them right now, to do things they never thought they would ever get to do. but they only had grandiose dreams about them because we were stuck in alcoholism. But once they overcome that and they stay on that narrow path, it's a narrow path as an alcoholic addict, but you got to stay on it, and you will time to time. Don't beat yourself up. I relapsed many times. Okay, many times, but until and if you're graced to get another chance, um, dust yourself off. Don't beat yourself up because it's a very, very um, terrible disease. Okay, and it will f with your mind. It will screw with your mind big time, and it will play a tape over and over again. And this is the devil, especially for alcoholics and addicts when they get sober, because now they're sober and they feel everything. And that tape will play over and over in your mind of all the bad stuff you did. And then the trap that alcoholics and addicts fall into, they rush. They want to hurry up and fix everything overnight. Just like right now, what we talked about in the show. As soon as Trump got in, everybody's rushing. Fix it right now. It doesn't work that way. It's the same thing of what I'm talking about. Somebody right now in recovery. All right. Don't rush it. Okay. Allow the process of recovery to play out naturally. Stay out of the way. It almost sounds like I know what I'm talking about. There was a time I never would have talked about these things. It was too embarrassing. But now I don't care. I think it's wonderful to be a light for what God can truly do. And to me, that's a miracle. I am a miracle. I can't believe that I'm still here. And not let alone doing what I'm doing, but I'm still here and I'm not dead and gone. It's crazy. So I don't take one day for granted. I don't take one single day for granted. I am so I'm so grateful of a person. And the reason I'm so grateful, I'm scared to death to go back there because I don't think I'll make it out again. Okay. So again, let me take another quick look on the wire. That was nice. I appreciate that. I didn't know the show was going to turn into that. And let me say this, since this was brought up. Um, if you're out there and you're struggling with drugs and alcohol, don't be ashamed. There are people who understand you, millions of people who understand you. And your story is not unique. We've all been through it. It may be a little bit different, but it's the same. Reach out for help. Okay. I think that's the biggest thing for an alcoholic and addict is to tap out and take that first step and reach out for help. That is the beginning of true recovery. All right. Let's see. What advice can you give to me to deal with liberal adult children that only tolerate me because of different political views? I am 72 and we can't get this time back. And that makes me sad sometimes. Ooh. One, I'll be honest with you, I don't have that answer. But what I can say is my heart goes out to you. I can't imagine what it's like. I've seen so many stories. I've had people reach out to me and personally just tell me. I don't even approach them. They just tell me. And I find that very humbling that they trust in me. And they tell me things like this, exactly what your comment is. I think, gosh, I just wish I had the right advice to give you. And I'm being truthful. I don't have the right advice. But one thing that I've displayed on this show, and I always do, is to trust God, no matter where we are in our life, no matter how old we are, or how old we think we are. That's for another show. But is to just trust and pray for them. Now, I'd be glad, Susan. I'll make a mental note of your name there on the screen, and I will pray for you tonight. And I'll ask everybody tonight to pray for Susan. And Susan, you're not alone. There are probably so many Susans out there who are in the same boat. But just know that even though as difficult as it is, Susan, you have people who understand you, who love you, and there's a community right here that cares. So we're here for you. Okay. Oh, praying all for her on a recovering journey. Amen. Amen. Uh-uh. All right, Kim, you're coming in late. Get out. Go. You can't come in late. No. Kim, I love you. Kim gets a special pass on this show because Kim is the one who was on RSBN live during a Trump rally. And when she was on live on television, she gave a shout out to me and all the patriots in this community on RSBN. And I think I still have the clip somewhere. I have to dig that up. That was wonderful. All right. Let's see. Mary says, so many of us are feeling alone. Just thankful I don't have any addictions but coffee. I have that addiction. I traded one vice for the other. God has a purpose for you, Bruce, right here on this platform. And look, um, none of you are alone. Okay. I know we live in strange times right now, and I know more people seem to isolate now because of technology, but technology can be good too because we have the ability to communicate, and we're doing that right now. When we're communicating in a very big way. So again, just like I told Susan, here we are. We're here for each other. Okay. Um, um, Thank you very much for the nice comments. There we go. Doreen says, I have a liberal son. We never talk politics. There's another way to do it too. I would assume is probably not talk politics. Make a rule. Um, let's see. Sorry if I don't get to all of your questions or comments. I just got to kind of breeze through these here. I have some, yeah, there you go. Praying for you, Susan. Okay. Flexi Miller says, that is my life. My son is a liberal Dem. I don't get to see him much, but never talk politics anymore. Yeah, that's probably a wise decision is to not even talk politics because it's become so divisive right now, and we have to get back. We have to get back to not being politically divided. It's so cancerous. It's terrible. There's Adriana, Adriana will be back soon. Her and I discussed the new formats coming. She was doing the weekly wrap up. Adriana says, I also have a liberal daughter who lives in California. We made a deal not to talk about politics. LOL, please pray for her salvation. There you go. So there's a common theme there in the comments. You guys are, I think it's smart, to talk about politics. Keep it out of it. Just, and we probably shouldn't. You gotta concentrate on family. I get yelled at all the time by people who care about me about uh, me needing to take a break and take a day off because they know I can get burned out in all these politics. And then if I get like that, I can catch myself being short, restless, irritable, discontent. Um, so yeah, you've got to know your boundaries as well. You got to know when not to talk about politics and time and place. So those are good things. Bruce, can you answer the question from Gail? Okay, I must have missed it. I'd have to go back and look for it. I don't know how far back it is. Can you post her question again? And I'm going back. So there's a lot of comments. So if you can post your question again, I'll wait for a new comment. How about that? So Gail, if you're still out there. Tracy says, it's a shame we can't have important discussions with loved ones. Yeah, it is. I get it. And I understand it. At the same time, I believe we're coming to the end of all this. Now, it may take another year or so, but I think we're coming to the end of this type of situation or these divisions. Okay, I think there will be a healing process. I think people will become more acceptable because of the benefits they will be reaping soon when it comes to whether it's in their own bank account, at work, their business, whatever. Um, okay, and let me go and check. There we go. My question is, do you think there will be a brief lockdown, stay home period? Well, I know people talked about that. Um, right now, I don't see it. I don't see a reason for it um, at all. Something would have to happen in order for that to transpire. Um, one thing that's possible is a revolt if Trump starts going into other liberal states like he did with DC. That could trigger something of a type of martial law, if you will. Um, again, and the other thing too is we got to get out of this whole Ukraine Russia thing. It's still very unsettling still, and there's a lot of unanswered questions that could play a role into things in the coming days. So we'll see. But I'm not going to come on this show and tell you, yes, there's going to be the EBS and we're going to have 10 days of darkness and we're all going to be locked down. I don't do that here. I entertain those things and I'm willing to have an intelligent conversation about it, but I won't come on here and say, yes, these things are going to happen. Anybody who says they know the answers to these things, they're lying to you. But no, as of right now, the way the climate is, I don't see a reason for it happening unless there is a revolt. um, yeah, well, I don't think that's what she was talking about, but I know what you're talking about. I don't think people will ever allow ourselves to be locked down again, and they shouldn't. um, that's funny. We need to go back to old school. Speak the truth, and who cares probably who hurts whose feelings get hurt, and put the phone back on the wall. Um, and not to get down a road of this right now because this is a whole different show. One, I agree with you. I'd love to go back when times are simpler, get rid of the phones. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Um, we have to move forward, and we can fight it, but I think we need to accept that the world is different now, and it's going to continue to stay different and go in that direction. When it comes to technology, and I'll just leave it at that because this can really snowball in another hour, and I'm not about to do that. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to check the wire one last time, and let me see if there's anything. What is this? Hold on a minute. Hold on. All right, hold on a second here. I'm gonna play a video only if I gotta confirm this before I even put it on your screen. Okay. I gotta make sure this is real. So hold on. And it has to do with Gavin Newsom and saying something. I gotta confirm that he said what I just saw. Oh, it looks like it's real. According to these people posting it. Well, I gotta make sure because I don't like putting anything out. I try to keep a good track record of not redacting things. Okay, Libs a TikTok posted this too. Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna put this on your screen. It looks like it's real. It looks like it's real. Let's bring this on your screen. All right. Okay, I've seen this on a couple, 3 credible sites so far. Lives of TikTok is usually good. Again, I don't have 100% confirmation, but this does look real. It looks like Gavin Newsom was on a podcast here, as you see on your screen. Okay. And let's listen to what he says. You ready? Listen together. Let's get your feedback.
This is radical rigging of a midterm election. Radical rigging of an election, destroying, vandalizing this democracy, the rule of law. So I'm sorry. I know some people's sensibilities. I respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
Hello.
Oh, amen to that.
This is radical rigging of a midterm election. Radical.
Let's play that last part again.
Path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
Oh, amen.
And they say amen to that. So it looks like Gavin Newsom was on a podcast while you guys were on this podcast. Or at some point tonight. And he just said what he said. Wow, how about that? Okay, then. Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, is that real? This guy is unhinged. He's showing his true colors right now. So it was earlier. I missed it. So at some point, this was today, I guess. I mean, he's unhinged. That X page. If you don't know about that X page, I'll bring it up. Hold on. That X page is unbelievable of his office. Let me bring it up for you. This page right here. It's even made Fox News recently. I saw that. Yeah, that page right there. If you're on X and you're a normal X person, Governor Newsom press office. That there is, if you'll notice the check mark right there, it's not blue. See, I have a blue check mark. All right, but that's the light gray check mark. The light gray says it's supposed to be official government. So I thought this page was a parody the first time I stumbled upon it. I'm like, this is some lunatic. This is a parody page. This isn't connected to the. And sure enough, it's real. And if you go down this page, okay, there's no question whoever he has running this page is an unhinged lunatic. They have said things on here that you get in the comments sections with wherever you're on with people attacking you. And I can't believe that he's allowing this to happen on here. So if you want some entertaining stuff that will make you laugh and some of it'll piss you off, you go to this page right here. It's truly a spectacle. No question about it. All right. Yeah, they're unhinged. That's something else. So I think as soon as I'm about to get off the air, I'm going to post that clip. I didn't see that today. So that was quite interesting. That should get some fun feedback. All right, guys. Well, listen, that's it for the show tonight. I really, again, thank you for tuning in. Again, like, subscribe, share, if you will. Follow on Rumble if you're on Rumble. I appreciate you. I'll keep you updated on the next podcast. Again, you can always count on me for any major breaking news to break in with a live broadcast to cover it. And you'll be notified with, as long as you're, subscribed to those channels or following, you can get that in your notifications. All right, guys, you have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye.